So you want to go out and film, right? Well, you got to learn what you're doing first. Just like whenever you go to drive a car one day, you have to learn how to operate that car and know the rules of the road before you go out and drive. So same thing with the equipment. You're going to watch this video, then you're going to pass a test to be able to go out and film. So if it's your day to film, the first thing that you're going to do is head over to the sign out station, sign out whatever equipment you're going to use. That includes your phone if you're using that. Sign out a microphone if you're doing interviews. As you can see here, the microphones are kept in this stand. They are very neatly stored here. The wires get wire tied up whenever you are done. Make sure that you use the Velcro wire ties to keep the cords from dangling on the floor, because if they're getting stepped on, then the cords will go bad over time. So use those Velcro ties. Tie this up whenever you are done very, very neatly, as you can see here. Now we have another kind of microphone too. This is called the USB voiceover mic. It has a little mini tripod attached to it. It stays here in the stand also. As you can see here, this microphone has a USB connection, which connects into your computer if you need to do a voiceover on your computer for your videos. The USB voiceover mics are also kept wire ties. Keep that Velcro tie on there at all times. That way it's always with the microphone. Whatever you do, do not strangle the mic with the cord. So many people do this, don't even realize they're doing it. It's bad for the microphones. Here's why. A lot of people think it's okay and a good thing to do this when you're wrapping it up. That's actually a bad idea because that cord is going to get frayed over time. So that's why I have the wire ties on here. And as you know, the wire ties are to be used to keep the cords from dangling onto the floor so people don't trip over them and step on them and make them go bad over time. You will see in a follow-up video some quick and easy ways to wrap up the cords. You will get better with this over time as you practice wrapping up the cords. Make sure you wipe off the hard surface parts with the wipes just down here. Again, sanitize everything real well. When you're doing your recordings and you're using a microphone, again, match the color microphone with the camera. So red mic, red camera. It's as simple as that. So we've got the yellow, we've got the orange, the red, and the purple. Those are the ones that connect to microphones. When you're done, sanitize everything, including the camera and definitely the microphone. Just don't spray directly. Don't spray Lysol directly into this because that's going to go bad over time. Just use on this one a wipe to clean off the hard surface. If there's a foamy on it, just spray it a couple times. When you're done with one of the camera mics, wrap it real loose like this. You want to keep this cord straight and not bent. That way it doesn't fray. And keep the Velcro tie on. That keeps it neat. Alright, so if you're using one of these cameras and connecting a microphone to it with the Canon cameras, those are the only cameras that connect to a microphone. When you open it up, there's a mic port. Just do that. Now here's the important thing. You're going to know that the microphone's working when you see the audio bars bouncing. So like right now I'm talking into it, you can see those audio bars bouncing. That's how you know your mic's working. To record on these, all you do is hit this button right here. You'll see a red dot on the screen. When you see a red dot on the screen, it's recording. It shows how long it's been recording for. To stop that recording, just click that and it goes away. Now, if you're just filming footage and you're not using a microphone, then sign out one of the Panasonics. That's the pink and that's the blue. It works pretty much the same way. You open it up. When you open it up, you can see what you're recording. Just click that to record. There's the red dot. Stop recording, same thing. If you're ever recording yourself and you're using a tripod, these flip. That's what's pretty cool about that. So you can kind of see yourself as you're recording. The Canons do the same thing. Again, make sure you're putting it in the right spot. Blue camera, blue spot. Find the cord, don't be lazy. I have all the cords marked. You got to keep everything charged so when the next person uses it, they don't have a dead camera. So be considerate of the next person using it. The charging port's going to be right there on the side on the Panasonics. Okay, you might have to look where the chargers are on them. For the Canon cameras, they're on the side, so it's okay if you turn the camera on its side. Our Canon cameras, these are the nicer cameras because they connect to the microphones. If you're signing out the yellow camera, or use the yellow microphone with that. The only camera that happens to not charge, you don't have to plug in, is the orange one. And the reason why is over time, This thing just kind of got beat up, and anytime we plug something in or we plug the charger back in, it's just real loose. So here's what you need to do if you go to use the orange camera and you open it up and there's no power and it's dead. Switch the battery. This is the battery for it right here. So we charge our battery right here. All you would do is use this little slider to do that. It pulls right off. This is charged now. This is ready to go. So you would just click that right on. Open it up. It should auto power on. When it auto powers on, you're good to start recording. You'll notice here I have iPhone microphones. What these are is they're lightning connectors. They connect to your iPhone. They're just little microphones that clip onto your shirt. That's actually what I'm using right now. Just a little thing like that. Now, if you were filming with your iPhone and you're using one of the clip-on microphones to plug into your phone, it is very, very important that you do a mic check. The reason why is we have found that these sometimes go in and out. They're not the most reliable. So before you go out and film, do a mic check, meaning plug it in, tap on the microphone, talk into it, just say like testing 1, 2, unplug it, play it back, and make sure it sounds really good. Because if you do an interview through the built-in microphone on your phone, it's not going to sound so good. So test it out. It will be crisp and clear. If it is working, you'll be able to hear the little tapping that's happening on the microphone. This here is a phone mount. It can connect to our tripod. I'm keeping this on here because if we keep taking this mount on and off, it goes bad over time. So this connects to one of our main tripods over here. That way you can mount your phone on there. You can adjust the tripod height and everything as well. These are our two most used tripods. Go to these before you use this one. This one's a little bit more complicated here, the yellow one. So if you're going to use that, talk to me first so we can go over it together because I don't want you guys to mess this one up. I actually messed it up myself whenever I put this on the wrong way, and we don't want that to happen. If anything happens to not be put back correctly, I'm going to know that you were the last person who used it when you sign it out, and you'll be banned from using the cameras for so many days. If something is wrong with the equipment, put it here in the out of service bin. Now what I have here is a QR code for you to scan with your phone, and it would just be a short description saying what's wrong with the equipment rather than going into detail with me face to face. You put it in here, then this is kind of out of operation. And listen, if something happens to the equipment, that's okay. Doesn't mean that you're going to be in trouble for it. It just means that you're saying that there's something wrong with it. And that's the responsible thing to do. If you happen to grab a camera and it's got one of these little mounts on there, keep that mount on. Reason being is if you try to force it off, that's going to strip the screw over time. So I know it might be a little bit annoying when you're doing that, but I'd rather that a little annoyance be there than have these go bad and then we can't mount them onto tripods. These are rechargeable batteries. I actually moved them over to the corner studio. And these are for the wireless mics. So if you're using anything like these wireless microphones that happen to have batteries that go bad, take the bad batteries out, put them here on charge, put the freshly charged batteries in its place. For these wireless mic packs, it's real easy to take the battery out. You just pinch that, batteries come out. Hopefully you guys know how batteries work. There's a plus end that has the little bump on it. The minus end's the flat end. So always make sure you're putting things in the right way. Now for the corner studio mics, those are battery operated as well. Don't leave the little blue light on. That drains the battery. When you're done, turn them off, put them back. They'll be ready for the next person to use. As you can see, there is a spot for those wireless mics as well. They are battery operated, so if your battery is dead, then the light will be red and you will have to switch the battery out. And these are rechargeable double A's, so put them back on charge when you are done. So we've got this connects to the camera. This is your receiver. What you would do is connect that into the camera, long press to turn it on. This part connects to the camera. And this over here is the actual microphone. And I have them labeled and everything. Long press to turn that on. It's going to show you the battery life. As you can see, it's about halfway full. This is what you would clip on to your shirt, and you would just talk into that. It's like a wireless signal. It picks up the signal here on the receiver. All right, in case you were wondering how to get this receiver to connect to the camera, use the purple camera for this because the purple camera has the mount already on it. We leave this on here all the time. This is what you're going to use to attach that. So I usually do it down just a little bit, and I do it down that way. I move that down a little bit so that way there's enough cord to connect into here, okay? It'll just connect right into here. If I left this all the way up, the cord wouldn't reach, it wouldn't connect. So what you would want to do is power this on. Make sure that on the receiver, it's on AB, meaning it's going to connect to both the A microphone and the B microphone. Long press to turn everything on. When you see green lights, you're good. Notice that this light's blinking because I don't have microphone B turned on. So if I were to turn it on, then this blinking light would become solid and then it would connect. But you might only be using one microphone. And, it all depends on whatever it is you're recording and what your needs are. So once you have both of those on, you're going to know that the sound's working whenever you see audio bars on there. That's how you should know that your sound's picking up okay. When you're done with this, what you would do, power these off by long pressing. That way your batteries don't die. Disconnect it. And then gently screw this off. Lefty-loosey, tighty-righty. That's a good way to remember that. Leave this on here. That way this thing doesn't get lost. It should stay there if you're careful with it. And then just put these back where they go. And again, do not wrap the cord tightly. Whenever you're done with these, don't strangle the cord. What I mean by that is do not bend this. Do not wrap it tight. You might think you're doing a good thing wrapping it tight, but that's actually the worst thing that you can do for these cords. These are $40 cords. Inside, they start to get frayed if you bend it tight. So when you're putting this back, wrap it loosely. So this is the right way to have your cord wrapped up. Notice it's not too tight at all. It's just real loose. Never, never, never leave it like this. That's so bad because it is bending that cord inside. It's going to go back. Same thing with these. Do not wrap it tight. You want that cord to always be straight here and not bending, because when these cords go bad, we're down on microphones. We're lucky enough to have a lot of microphones this year that work. Okay, when you go out to film, you need to take a walkie-talkie with you. As you can see, the walkie-talkies are very neatly kept. They go back on charge when you are done. The blue are on the right, the gray are on the left, so keep it neat, keep it organized, keep them charged when you're done. Also, before you go out and film, take the pass sheet with you after you fill it out. It is on the counter at the media center where you fill out your name, your period, the timeout, the time you return, and your film topic. So instead of taking the haul sheet, you take this with you. You are only allowed to film in increments of 2, meaning you and one other person. You go out for 10 to 15 minutes, you get your footage, you come back. That way another group of 2 can go out and film. You are filming for separate projects most likely, but you are out to help each other film. So use your time wisely. And as soon as you get back to the media center after filming, you will import your footage, whether you've used your phone or a camera. I will show you how to do that in a follow-up video.